One of the known failure points on the R53 Mini, or any Mini for that matter, is this coolant expansion tank right back here. So on this seam, they split, and if that splits, your coolant system is no longer going to function. You're going to be stranded wherever you are. So whether you're going to work or driving across the country, you are going to be stuck there because this plastic tank exploded. So a common upgrade, and what we're going to be doing today, is replacing this plastic one with an aluminum unit that I got offline. So as you can see, this is the same exact expansion tank. The only difference is it's made out of aluminum instead of plastic. It's got the big barb on the bottom and on the side. We have this extra barb on top so that if it does vent any fluid because it's overheating, you can run a hose outside the engine bay, whereas this is just going to dump out of the tank and right onto your exhaust, which if you rapidly cool that, you could crack it and it could cause problems. So it will be nice to be able to route that hose somewhere. The only attachment points is we have this bracket up here, and then we'll have two studs down here on the bottom. This one just has two little plastic posts, so I'm not sure exactly how I want to mount this, but we'll figure that out once we get this one out. It's pretty easy, just a 10mm nut that comes off this post here. We'll have to disconnect this hose, drain all of the fluid out of it, and then you'll rock it forward and pull it up and out. You might have to move your spark plug wires here just to get it out, but it should be pretty easy. So with all the fluid siphoned out, we've got the two pins popped out the bottom already. We have the hose disconnected from the side. We're gonna take this nut the last couple turns, and then with this fished up, we can get to the clamp that's down here on the hose and pull that off. And once that's out of the way, we can put the new one in. Now this one is still in pretty good shape. It's still a relatively light color. It's when they start to get a darker brown, that's when you're gonna have to worry about them exploding. So I could have kept this one in for much longer, but for the security of knowing that I'm never gonna have to worry about it, I'm just gonna go ahead and swap in the aluminum one. Now this one was brushed aluminum all the way through. It was nice and shiny, which is not what I like. I like subtle and hidden things. So I went ahead and hit it with some textured black spray paint. It also had this enormous, just gaudy cap on it that was twice this size, and I was able to cut that aluminum off and just have this small regular cap on it. So it's gonna blend in. People will barely even notice it's there. Yes, this is an eBay one. This is not one of the name brand ones, but really it's just a welded aluminum tank. So as long as you pressure test it with some compressed air, just block off all of the bulbs and put some compressed air in there and see if it holds or if it leaks anywhere. As long as it doesn't leak, you should be good to go. So with the old one out of the way, you can see how the bracket works. It's a little bit different. I can't just put two screws through it, so I'm not really sure what their plan was. But conveniently, the head of this Allen bolt is going to fit perfectly into the hole just like the post did. So I'm going to tighten them all the way down and then use those as the bottom support, and then the top support will hold it in place. So it fits perfectly, no issues. Everything is nice and secure even before I tighten this bolt down. And as you can see, it matches the power steering reservoir almost perfectly. The lids look similar, shape, nice subtle black color. So it's gonna blend in with the rest of the engine really well. Of course, if you're into shiny, it comes that way, so you can keep it that way if you like, but that's just not me. So we'll go ahead and do our final install, get everything buttoned up, pour some coolant in it. We'll start the car to make sure that there's no leaks. Of course, don't forget to rehook your coil. So let's get it buttoned up. So other than a little bit of smoke from the coolant that we spilled onto the header, everything looks perfect. I've got no signs of leaks, no issues. So we'll just let the car run for a little bit, shut it back off, and tomorrow we're gonna check the coolant level, just make sure everything is topped off nice the way it was before. But it was as simple as that. Now I don't have to worry about my coolant expansion tank exploding while I'm hundreds of miles away from home. It's a cheap, simple upgrade, and for $50 for one off eBay or $150 for one of the name brand options, it is very cheap insurance to save you from having a ruined day. If you guys have any questions, of course, feel free to drop them below, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next week.